This week, I take a flight with a couple of pallets of soda for company, fly just 700 feet above mountains in the Arctic Ocean, and spot a grizzly bear at one of America's most remote airports as I hitch a ride on one of the country's most essential flights.
Well, good morning from Fairbanks in Alaska. What a beautiful part of the world this is, but I'm not here for long because today I'm going to be taking one of the most remote flights that I've ever taken. I'm heading north out of Fairbanks to some of the most remote Arctic villages that there are, all the way deep into the Arctic Circle, as far north as we can get in North America, hopping through various tiny little villages on some essential air services. Let's go and get checked in for our first flight of the day. Hi, good morning. Checking in, please. Yeah, up to Barrow eventually. I've got this one. Am I alright to take this on, or does it need checking?
We don't know any carry-ons, but you can allow one personal item. So,
okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
if you need
personal
anything
item
out of it, you can carry that on, just not the back.
Oh, got it. Okay, yeah, no worries. I'll take some stuff out.
And you are all set. I just need
amazing.
You back in the lobby at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. Okay, sounds good. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Right, then we are all checked in for the flight today up to Barrow. It's a very long flight, 5 hours on a Cessna Caravan today. The airline is Wright Air Service, and they serve all of these tiny little routes all up here across Alaska, which is pretty cool. You kind of check in, there's no carry-on baggage allowed, so I've had to debag everything into my pockets for this, and yeah, we're going to be getting on board and taking a little ride up, hopping across some little villages today. Super exciting.
So this journey then is one of the most remote mail runs in America, flying hundreds of miles across the Alaskan Arctic, delivering post to places so remote they don't even have roads. This is a journey that most people, even Alaskans, will never take.
So right now they're loading on some of the supplies that's going up to these tiny little villages. Most of the places we're heading to today, this is the only form of transport in and out. There's no roads up there. Most of them are inland, so there's not even the option to take stuff up by boat. So this is it really. They load pallets of food and freight onto these planes to take them up to some of these tiny little locations up deep into the Arctic, and we're going with it today.
Back inside the terminal, and I do use that term pretty loosely, there's a few chairs to wait and a coffee maker to get you going for the day. It even serves decaf if you're that way inclined. Outside, my ride for the day was loaded and ready to go, and fairly soon so were we.
Okay, thanks, Ricky. Take care, guys.
Follow me. My ride today is a Cessna Caravan, the workhorse of this part of the world. They're built tough, they seat up to 9 passengers, and if needed they can land on floats, skis or even tundra tyres.
All right, good morning, everyone. Be an hour and a half to Arctic Village, then Kaktovik, Deadhorse. Need the heat adjusted when we get going, just holler at me.
And with that, the caravan roared to life and we taxied out to the runway for our flight deep into the Arctic. Our first flight of the day then takes us north, way north, to a little place called Arctic Village. It's about 290 miles from Fairbanks, tucked into the foothills of the Brooks Range. Flight time just over an hour and 15 minutes, and every minute of it is pure wilderness.
Amazing scenery as we climb out of Fairbanks. This view is just incredible.
As we leave Fairbanks behind, the flat landscape slowly gives way to jagged peaks as the Brooks Range starts to rise out of the tundra. Up here there's no highways, no railroads, just rivers, mountains and sky, and today we're going to fly right through it. We began our descent into Arctic Village, a tiny Gwich'in community of about 150 people completely cut off from the road system. The gravel airstrip we're about to land on is their lifeline. Everything from food and medicine to spare parts and Christmas presents arrives by air, often on flights just like this one. Arctic Village is inside the Arctic National Wildlife Refuge, a vast stretch of protected land home to caribou, wolves and the occasional bush pilot with a GoPro. As we taxied in, a few locals were already waiting for us. Out here, the arrival of a plane isn't just routine, it's a connection to the outside world.
Hi there, welcome to Arctic Village, Alaska, home to just 150 people. We are fairly out in the middle of nowhere here, I'd like to think. There's no roads or anything into this village. This is literally the lifeline of everybody who comes in and out of this village. It's the only way in and out. Just a little gravel strip here, a few people here jumping on and off. They're offloading some cargo and stuff to bring up to the villagers here. And then we'll be jumping back on the plane to get airborne again for the next leg. This is incredible, isn't it?
Fairly soon we were getting back on board to get on our way to our next stop of the day. We climbed out of Arctic Village and headed straight for the mountains, and if I thought that first leg was stunning, well, it was nothing compared to what lay ahead. Our next leg then had us weaving through the Brooks Range to Barter Island, a tiny strip of land off the north coast of Alaska. Flight time for this leg just 54 minutes, but what a ride. And so here we were then, the magnificent Brooks Range. We began to carve our way through the range, soaring so close to the mountains it felt that I could reach out and touch them. I honestly can't believe how close we are flying to these mountains, man. Look at this. The camera is doing this no justice whatsoever. This is incredible. Wow. No autopilot, no airways, just hands-on flying through one of the most dramatic landscapes on planet Earth. This just might be the most fun I've ever had on a scheduled commercial flight. This is just something else, man. Wow. Honestly, this flight was one of those that you just don't forget. A reminder of what flying used to feel like. Raw, real, and absolutely breathtaking. After the drama of the Brooks Range, we levelled out over the North Slope, and suddenly it's a whole different world. Flat tundra stretches as far as the eye can see. There's no trees, no mountains, just a vast empty nothingness. And somewhere out there, Barter Island, our next stop. As we crossed the coast into the Arctic Ocean, we began our descent into Barter Island, a tiny outpost on Alaska's northern coast perched right on the edge of the Arctic. It's home to a place called Kaktovik, a village of just over 300 people, famous for polar bears and, well, not a lot else really. Due to its position on the north coast, Barter Island was once part of the Cold War era DEW line, a chain of radar stations built to detect incoming Soviet bombers. The runway's still here and it's used to deliver mail, supplies and the occasional very lost travel vlogger.
Alright then, welcome to Kaktovik, or Barter Island as it's more commonly known. A little island off the north coast of Alaska now. We're out in the Arctic Ocean. Next stop that way is Norway eventually. After about 1,500 miles you get to Svalbard. and we're just out here, just chilling. Theoretically where we are now, this is actually classed as a desert. There is so little rainfall here. This is a desert. All the snow that you see here blows in apparently. They don't get very much rain at all, or snowfall up here. But yeah, just so remote this is. Wow, look at this.
And get this, we might be 1,500 miles from Svalbard, but we're over 1,800 miles from Seattle. So yeah, this might technically be Alaska, but it feels like a very different planet up here. Up here, even taking out the trash can be an adventure. Everything, and I mean everything, has to be kept in bear-proof cages.
Our yard, we separate, you know, of course they put the foodstuffs in these bear-proof cages.
Yeah.
And so we're fighting the grizzly bears all the time, chasing them out of the yard constantly.
And speaking of which, looking out over the ice, what did we see? That little black speck over there? Yep, that's a grizzly bear.
We're picking up one passenger, they've just turned up, so we'll get back on the plane. We're going to head across now to Deadhorse. What an amazing place.
Our next leg then took us skimming across the edge of the Arctic Ocean, cruising at just 700 feet above the ice. A 48-minute hop to Deadhorse, and hands down one of the wildest flights I've ever been on. As we skim across the Arctic Ocean, you can just about make out the faint scars of the ice roads below slowly melting as summer creeps in. These frozen highways connect remote oil refineries across Alaska's North Slope, and they don't come cheap. At over $1.2 million per mile, hundreds of miles of these are built every winter, and in the spring they all melt away and vanish. Only in Alaska do even the roads have a shelf life. As we got closer to Deadhorse, the landscape shifted again from icy emptiness to a sprawling patchwork of pipes, tanks and gravel roads. This is the heart of Alaska's oil industry, an entire town built to keep the pumps running in one of the harshest places on Earth. We started our approach into Deadhorse, and would you believe it, this is the first paved runway we've seen since Fairbanks. No gravel, no dirt strip, just tarmac, and out here, well, that's a luxury. Deadhorse Airport, or Prudhoe Bay, mainly handles cargo and oil workers, but a couple of airlines run scheduled flights to Anchorage too, when the weather allows at least. There's not much of a terminal building to speak of, but hey, they've got pavement, and at this point, well, that feels pretty fancy. This is you then, I guess.
Yeah. They'll bring our bags
See your
in.
tanks over there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's our FBO. We do all the airplane filming out here, too.
Alright then, welcome to Deadhorse, Alaska, Prudhoe Bay Airport. This is very, very far north. It's a massive oil refinery in this town here that sorts all the fuel out for all of the airports and all the communities along the north coast of Alaska up here. The Arctic's across there. Alaska's behind us this way in the south, and this is the Wright Air Terminal here at Deadhorse. I've got about, I think, an hour here now, and then continuing on to Barrow. What an amazing place. So how long are you up here for then?
I do a 3-week shift.
Okay.
Yeah.
3 weeks here, then back down to Fairbanks.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
I live down in the interior of Alaska, so Fairbanks is the closest to me. Crazy Alaska life, live off the grid, and yeah,
I bet it's nice out here actually though. It's just in the summer.
Make it all worth it.
Yeah.
The winters are very cold and brutal, but the summers are
A bit depressing in the winter, I guess, 'cause it's dark 24/7, isn't it?
Oh, not 24/7.
All right.
Even up here, in the the sun doesn't rise, but it's like a
twilight. Yeah. So you just get grizzly bears up here then? No polar bears then?
Well, the polar bears are still out on the ice.
They're still way out there.
Yeah.
Mm.
They're after the seals and the whales and stuff. It's just about ready to break up. It'll break any day now with this weather. I saw some 50-degree forecasts this week, so.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they'll start coming back in, and then Barter Island is a really good place to see them, and we kind of stick to the islands, and very rarely do we see them inland, and the refineries and stuff that are closer out to the ocean side, or they all
They
have
get them
bear
out there.
cages. And, yeah. And one of my seasonal guys I was training last year in October,
Right.
I saw one in the middle, right on their what we call the spine road or main haul road that goes 100 and some miles back there in the winter.
Wow.
They built a nice road across a couple of the rivers, and yeah, he saw one in the middle of nowhere. It's like, he was here 2 weeks. I was like, I hate you.
Yeah. That's
I've
crazy.
not seen one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, just walking outside the door, you don't just open the door and step out.
Right.
You look.
Check first. Yeah.
Well, online, it's kind of the same. You have to sort of keep an eye out to make sure that there's no bears out there, except online the only bears are data brokers, creepy companies that track, collect and sell all your personal information without you ever even knowing it. You see, your name, your address, even what you've searched for online, it's all out there, unless you lock it down. You see, that's why I use Incogni. They go after more than 230 data brokers on your behalf. And now with their new custom removals tool, well, you can even point them to specific websites that you want your data getting rid of. No form filling, no chasing companies yourself, just click and you're done. You see, out in Alaska, you get like bear spray and stuff to keep away all the nasty bears, but online, I'm lucky because I've got Incogni. Incogni are offering you 60% off an annual plan when you use my code Noel Phillips online at incogni.com/Noel Phillips, and then you can be protected from bears, even the online sort too. Thankfully though, there wasn't much time to worry about the bears because pretty soon there was a rumble outside and my next plane arrived to take me even further north to Barrow. Outside they started loading the cargo for today's flight, which turned out to be a boat engine and then a couple of pallets of soda for the village stores. And pretty soon, it was our turn.
We'll see you in a couple days, Ethan. Enjoy the trip.
Thank you.
My ride across to Barrow was this Cessna Caravan, and it's quite a new one. It's only been with Right Air for a couple of years. Boarding this flight wasn't exactly a usual airport experience. To get to my seat I had to climb over a boat engine, several pallets of soda and what I think was half a washing machine. It felt less like boarding a plane and more like a bonus round on the Krypton factor, but hey, a seat's a seat, even if it does come with a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper as your seatmate. Our next leg then took just 31 minutes, a quick hop from Deadhorse to Nuiqsut. It's a small village sitting on the Colville River Delta, remote, isolated and only accessible by ice road in the winter. From the air, the roads have all but disappeared now, replaced by snaking silver pipelines that stretch across the tundra like steel arteries. These are part of the Trans-Alaska pipeline system, carrying crude oil 800 miles south to Valdez, where it's shipped off to fuel the rest of the United States. It's one of the largest pipeline systems in the world, and up here it's often the only sign of human life for hundreds of miles. At its peak, this pipeline moved over 2 million barrels of oil a day. It's still running strong, although a little slower these days. Eventually a gravel strip appeared on the horizon, and that's our cue. We're landing in Nuiqsut. There's no control tower, no taxiways, just a single airstrip carved out of the tundra. It might not look like much, but to the people here, it's everything. On the ground in Nuiqsut, then it was time to offload the pallets of soda in the back as well as a refrigerator. Before long though, the cargo was offloaded, the passengers were onboarded, and it was time to get on our way to Barrow. So here we go on the last leg of the day then, heading to Barrow, the northernmost airport in the United States. This last hop clocked in at just over an hour, flying across endless tundra to the very top of America. As we headed north, the pilot figured out that only an av geek would do something as crazy as taking all of these flights back to back. So next thing I knew, he handed me a GPS so I could track our route to Barrow in real time. Top tier customer service, honestly, and you don't even get that in some first class cabins. You know, flying across these remote corners of Alaska has been an absolute joy. The scenery, the adventure, the sheer sense of freedom up here. But for the people who call this place home, it's not about sightseeing. These flights are essential, a connection to the outside world. We're not just hauling cargo today, we're flying someone home to see their family, getting them to a doctor's appointment, delivering groceries, medicine, hope. And that's, at least to me, is what makes the essential air service truly essential. As we descend through the Arctic haze, Barrow came into view, the northernmost airport in the United States. It's another isolated community, but somehow it feels like the end of the world and the heart of it all at once. After 5 stops, 4 flights and nearly 700 miles, we've made it. Welcome to Barrow. Before we parted ways, the pilot handed me a stack of old aviation charts, a souvenir just to finish off this unforgettable trip. I'm going to sign a few and send out a little Arctic mail of my own, so if you'd like one, just leave a comment and tell me which part of this video was your favourite. I'll pick a few of you to send one to, and maybe a little piece of Alaska will land in your mailbox.
Those are all you get a battery too.
Yeah, free battery as well.
Yeah. I got all my updates. That's what the extra GPS.
Oh, right, yeah. And just carry all this lot around with you anymore. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank you very much.
Okay. All right.
Awesome. Thank you. It'd be great to fly with you. Thank you very much. Cheers. Hey there. Thank you.
Oh, you YouTube?
Yeah.
Oh. Are you on the flight thing?
Yeah.
Hey, nice to meet you.
That's awesome. Nice to meet you too. Thank you. Yeah, I've just flown up today from Fairbanks.
Oh, yeah?
All the way through everywhere, Deadhorse and everywhere and up here.
Nice,
so yeah, it's been awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, good to meet you, man. Anyway,
thank
you. See you. After saying hello to my Alaskan fan club, it was time to head into the terminal, which, let's face it, here at Barrow was a little bit rustic. Alright then, welcome to Barrow, the northernmost town in the whole of North America. It doesn't get any further north than here. Once you go north, you're in the Arctic, and then eventually you're in Norway. And yeah, this is it really. This is the entire town, by the way, just here. The airport is kind of the size of the entire town. This is it. This is the only paved road in the town, apparently. And there's no way in and out of the town by road. This is it. This is literally it. But yeah, what an amazing day that was, flying with Right Air. And I even got all the pilot's old charts. I don't know what I'm going to do with all of them. Maybe I'll give some away. I'll tell you what, I'll sign a couple of them and give them away. Drop me a comment down below and I'll sign a couple and we'll give them away. How's that? But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And hopefully you've enjoyed seeing what aviation is like in this part of Alaska. I've got a load more Alaska stuff coming up now. Heading back down to Anchorage now to take another flight out somewhere else really remote. So stay tuned for next week when you'll see that video. But in the meantime, thanks so much for watching. Take care, be kind, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.